Welcome back, everybody. Tim just trounced all over my stuff.
You didn't go first.
You just got here. Yeah, there is expansion of the district sports programs, which makes me happy because our high school programs are dying on the vine. I don't know what happened. We're lacking JV people. I think for a couple of years we were so focused on charters we forgot about everything else. But everything coming back. I'm really happy about what's going on at High Desert. That's going to result in replenishing our football teams and our high school teams, so I'm happy about that. But I asked, and I know it's coming, that a facility report be given about our maintenance, our facilities, and in my input to the superintendent's office, since this is what I do for a living, part of it is break things out. What's educational space, what's parking lot, and what are the FTE efforts given to especially sports fields. So that's one of the things I'm looking at. So if staff is not coming forward and saying at budget time, I need a budget enhancement because we have a sports program, if there's not a bunch of athletes in the room of one age, and then suddenly there are, even a tree guy can figure out that there might be additional maintenance required and additional funds required. What I'm seeing now is short of that report, and I know that report's coming out, and I know it's going to be thorough, but what we've got is we've got a lot of self-advocating going on where it's, okay, I'm going to go talk to this person, and if I don't get what I need there, I'll go talk to this one. So we're kind of working the realm of the site principals to see which one will let us play on our field. I have concerns that when we start taking third-party goals and nets and that type of thing, incorporating them to our use, do we have the right agreements in place? I'm also a firm believer that we don't trash one field down to nothing and then move on to the next best one, because when that one's trashed, you got nothing left. So I think at some point we need to expand the scope of the director of athletics to become a liaison where they're familiar with what's going on at each of the sites and then could support the principals when questions come forward for the community. Parents who want sports opportunities for their kids and the good things that come with that come to the microphone. I always appreciate that very much. But I think the athletic director in the future needs to take on a district-wide role, not so much control, but to help and act as a liaison to make this thing go. Because in the end, 4 or 5 years from now, we're going to have more full teams. We're going to have people coming back to the district, and no one will know how it happened. But it's just getting off the ground right here. So I appreciate the parents with their patience. It's very difficult for me to hear someone come forward and be critical of staff for a program that just started 4 months ago. Thank you. You've had basically a WIOA classification.
Yes.
And that is your exception to Shasta.
That is correct.
And since the Shasta ruling, there has been no gap in your WIOA relationship.
No, the WIOA relationship.
Right. And so the WIOA relationship, my understanding is there are groups that get the funding and you work with those to provide opportunities that ultimately benefit the students in making them more ready for the job market or possibly going to work with one of the sponsors or something like that. So my only question to you is this: in the event that you were to have a lapse in your WIOA relationship that would affect your Shasta credential, what is your responsibility to this board?
What we do if there's a lapse,
yes,
we seek out another WIOA relationship that is in close proximity to one of our 3 sites. So, for example, we have a working relationship with a local WIOA of the Boyle Heights site, which is literally across the overpass in Boyle Heights. If that, for whatever reason, a contract would diminish and it would be gone and the MOU is gone, then we go ahead and look for another WIOA locally around the site to make sure that we're in compliance.
So someone could lose their funding, not participate, other people are doing things. So I just want it in the record, in the event, the odd event that would happen, that would be something you would report to your authorizer.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect, thank you. You're a nonprofit, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Do you have any idea how many of our local students you've helped along the way? Just throw me a number.
This current school year 0.
Okay.
I'd have to go back in time and see if there were any previous academic years. But this
Okay.
year 0.
So your Shasta exception is that you are a virtual online system.
Correct.
So there's no resource centers anywhere I have to worry about.
Not for the CCS of LA charter.
Perfect, thank you. Tell me, in the virtual environment, you know the game where I sign in for 1 minute, you get ADA, what's your fail-safe against that? Oh, I want to hear from you.
No.
Okay. Okay, so we're not doing K-12, thank you. Oh, by the way, I need to apologize.
I'll tell you it doesn't happen, he'll tell you how it doesn't happen.
That's good. You got an IT person. I want to apologize for our president. He still can't say my last name. Mr. Brash, I would love to have your last name. It's very Who's providing who's your SELPA? Okay. We're not doing anything. Who's entering your SACE data?
Our staff.
Good. The prizes are really bad if you lose. They're really bad. Tell me what your child find and assessment process looks like in the virtual environment.
Child find, our team, our enrollment team, our compliance team is looking at the scholars and verifying the CalPads and doing due diligence work. Assessment, what do you mean by?
So I notice a problem. I suspect that there's an issue. Tell me where somebody says and how. I say, I think your child has.
Okay. So if a teacher recognizes that or a counselor recognizes that, we bring it to the attention of our Director of Exceptional Scholar Services, aka Special Education. We will then have a conversation with the family.
That's more palatable. I like that. Note that. What was that?
Exceptional Scholar Services.
That's right. I had that.
Find the titles that go like wrap around the card. So.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Administration, do you have a board?
I do.
Do you have minutes and agendas?
We do.
Can you see them?
Yes, you can.
Cool. Can I be a vendor and serve on your board?
No, you may not.
Bummer. What percentage of your budget goes to back of house people in the background that do this thing for a living? Or do you staff these positions?
We staff our positions.
Imagine
we
that.
We do have a back office provider who also assists, but the majority of the work is done in-house. We pride ourselves on.
So you have auditors and financial people that you wouldn't have a full-time position for, but there's not somebody, it's like you don't have 14 different charters across the country and you're taking 25% of it.
No.
Okay, good. I didn't see that in the car you drove, by the way. Good. Okay. They say I'm brutal. You're not helping me. Listen, the 21 letters I got, thank you for being discreet and sending them to individual board members, because when you send them to all 5 board members, that's like a no-no, and you already know about the Brown Act. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you. My comments are to staff. It seems to me that, I don't want to minimize things, certainly not to you, Tim, but the way it was structured, there were people working on sports, there were people working on theater, there's people working here. You've got students trying to develop basic retails. You know, the hot dog money ended up with the popcorn money, and I can see, I don't see anything nefarious about this. And I think that the way it's structured now is you have an ASB leader that is focused on the business of it, that type of thing. And I think that freed up the other people to focus on what their things are, like the theater and things like that. So I'm really happy. I think you got some things in place. I want to be the bad guy on this other one, and I want everyone to listen very carefully because I'll say a lot without saying anything. Does everyone understand these reports go back several years? Does everyone understand that you don't buy 25 things with a credit card and not put a receipt in for it? That you don't do no signature or single signature? In other words, I do my mileage and then I authorize my own mileage with no oversight. Does anyone understand that? Does everyone understand that? Do we have anybody employed that is still doing those things? Thank you. Very good.